Hey, what is up, everyone? It is Rich. You're not dreaming. This is real. Apparently, the world has completely fallen apart since I've been off YouTube. I got direct messages the last couple of months. Please, Rich, come back. We miss you. Where have you been? What are you doing? Well, I'll tell you. We're gonna look at Jay Lee. That's gonna be the premise of this video. But I had to really focus on drawing and getting on some sort of a schedule where I was really drawing like a lot of hours. And so I have a pretty obsessive personality, and once I get into something, man, it's really difficult to pull me out. And so I work really long hours, and there's just not enough time, honestly, in the day for me to hop in and be doing YouTube. Unfortunately, I obviously wish that it wasn't that way. And this is what I've said to some close friends. If the day was like 30 or 40 hours long, then I would have enough time to do it. I have the energy to do YouTube. It's not that. There literally is not enough time in the day. I'm not a fast artist. It takes me, 20 or 30 hours to draw something, to pencil and ink a piece, and I just, I do like 10-hour days, and it still takes me 3 or 4 days to draw, like a nice piece. So I mean, it's just I don't know what else to do. I have to do art. I mean, that's more important to me than being a YouTuber. Although being a YouTuber is a very glamorous life. So look, I'm back. We're gonna do a video. We're gonna look at Jay Lee. This is a super fun Sunday. Technically, it's just not live. So it's gonna be super fun. All right, let's do this. So this is a page from Wildcat's Trilogy. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and hopefully you took some seasickness pills, because I don't mess around with these files. I swing them and jerk them around. It's gonna be crazy. We can actually go full screen because there's no order for this. So this is a very detailed page, although it's graphic. There's a lot of detail on this. Oh, and while we're on this Wildcat's Trilogy, I saw a video the other day of a guy talking about Wildcat's Trilogy, and he said something that was really not correct. Jay wasn't doing like 8 to 12 pages a day of this stuff. You couldn't put this much detail and do it that quick. So anyway, if any of you saw that video, he's wrong. I think he heard that story about something else and just superimposed it on like whatever book he wanted to. But anyway, the Cape of Doom. Kelsey, if you see this, like, that could be the cape. I have an inside joke with Kelsey about capes. All right, so look, Jay's gone through a lot of iterations of his work. It's actually kind of interesting to see. This is his early style. This stuff is pretty complex, to be honest. I've tried to do things like this, and all the weird shapes and splatter and stuff like that. I've never found a real fast way to do it. It's kind of like one of those things like where I remember hearing Mike Mignola say this one time, that people will come up to him sometimes at conventions and they'll go, "Man, I love your style. It's so much faster for me to like work like this." And Mike kind of goes, "Really? Because it's not for me." And I've never found a simplified style to be faster. You just have to put more thought into it. And in fact, in the Mignola Drawing Monsters thing, Arthur Adams confirms that, because he says, when Mike and him they were in the same apartment complex, I believe, and so they would sometimes hang out and draw together, or whatever it was. But Art said that Mike took about as long as Art did to detail a page, but Mike spent a lot of time removing detail, and that's kind of what really sort of goes on. Is you sort of you overdraw, and then you just start looking at stuff and going like, do I need all those lines like on the cheek? Okay, I'm gonna erase those. Or do I need like lighting on this leg band, or can it just be a black shape? And it takes minutes, and those minutes turn into hours. So Jay's done, God, I mean, like, he's done Transformers, G.I. Joe, he's done Ozymandias, he's done The Dark Tower, he's done Namor, he's done Spider-Man, he did Hellshock, he did Inhumans. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna name he did Fantastic Four, and they're all, like, slightly different styles, to be honest. Like he doesn't seem to stick with one style for more than like a year or two, and I think that that's cool. I mean, it's I'm a fan of a band called Muse, and the singer of Muse said something very funny that made me laugh in an interview one time, and he said, every new album that we do is our worst album. Our fans all hate it, and then we put out our next album, and then they hate that one the most, and then they start to like the one that we did before that they hated. Like every new album is the worst album, and fans are like that. You know, they get locked into like one look, and then over time, I think you're able to like reassess the body of work in a different way. At least I've found that too. This stuff is great, but yeah, there's no way that this stuff is fast to do. This is a lot of detail. It's a lot of shit to draw, just in general. Team books. And especially if you've got two teams. This is just Wildcats, though, right? Yeah, this is just the Wildcats team. It's a lot of characters, really. It's funny because I'm a huge fan of Wildcats, but yeah, when you have Zealot, Voodoo, Maul, Spartan, Void, Grifter, and Emp all in one batch, it's a lot of characters to draw. His stuff is so cool, man. Yeah, I over a period of, well, probably years now, I've saved any, you know, like whenever I see like a nice scan of like a Jay Lee piece, I'll usually like save it. And what I had done is I was looking for a piece of art that I used to own, just a scan of it. I don't own the piece anymore. I was just curious if I could find an old scan of it. And as I was going through my external hard drives, I saw some Jay Lee folders, and I kind of started to cobble it back together because it's all spread out over like 16 external hard drives. But anyway, so I grabbed all this stuff, but yeah, it's cool. These are color guides. It looks like Joe Chido. So this is Joe Chido. I've heard people pronounce his name differently. I can't think of how they say it. Chioda. I always thought it was Chido. To be honest, I worked with him and am friends with him, but I don't know if I ever heard it Wildstorm pronounced differently. It's usually on YouTube, or Kelsey says it even a little different, I think. This is Inhumans. I was checking out Hellshock the other day. It was kind of interesting seeing it. The issues of Hellshock actually have quite different styles. The first one is kind of it's more similar to what he did on like Wildcats Trilogy and Strike File, with a little tiny bit of photorealism, and then the second and third series, or third and fourth, whatever, they start to get like a little more like realistic. See, now this stuff, okay, like what's interesting about this is, although this doesn't look exactly like a Dustin Wynn piece, I see a lot of similarities to Jay Lee and Dustin Wynn now. And his stuff gets real dark. Not Dustin, but these pieces. That's kind of the only main difference. But if you did this in watercolor and didn't have as much heavy shadows, this looks a lot like a Dustin piece. Yeah, it's really interesting. So he's going through this phase now, and a lot of his work is very, very heavily shadowed. You know, it's different. The cape is cool. Yeah, Jay Lee, Simon Bisley, and Sienkiewicz are my messy artists that I usually like in the back of my mind if I'm thinking that I want to get gritty or dirty on something. In terms of comics, I have a lot of favorite artists outside of comics, but for comic artists, those three seem to be the most aggressive with their like messiness. Bisley, you know, and Sienkiewicz. And it's interesting too, is because Bill, I'm hard pressed to think of an artist that had as much sort of splatter and stuff like that before Bill. There may have been someone, but Bill was kind of like he's sort of the one that brought that into comics, as far as I know, and then Bisley kind of brought the Bill into his work, and then Jay sort of got it from that, and then I'm a fan of all three, and then again stuff outside of comics that I had seen as a kid growing up that was pretty wild. Some of the artists are influences of Bill Sienkiewicz too, so it's interesting. Ah, these are so cool. So this is Namor. I don't even know how you say it, to be honest. It's cool. Now I'm like kind of doubting myself. Is it Namor? Nay or nah? Let me know in the comments. This is important that we get to the bottom of this. Namor. I don't know. That just proves that I don't have a lot of friends that I hang out with to talk about comics, because I don't see anyone in my life anymore that draws comics. When I was at Wildstorm, at least I was around some artists. This is cool. Sorry if you can hear the fan on my computer. Oh, it's the same file. This is cool. My computer, I have a new computer, but I'm filming it on my old one, and my old one's like it's aging out. This is nice. I like this. It's cute. This is cool. Ghost Rider is one of my favorite characters. It's so crazy, like these. You'd almost think this was like a digital sketch, but it isn't. It's like wash. Yeah, I think he uses wash, or maybe. I'm trying to think. I saw one video where he was doing it. Some of it's just very thin brush strokes. Oh, it could be watered down ink. He might water down his ink a little bit. It's nice and loose, though. I do like that. This was cool. I had never seen this piece before. Oh, okay, this is big. So it's not even Jay Lee. It was credited as Jay Lee. That's funny. Interesting. That's nice. Biggs, whoever you are. Maybe you watch this channel. This is a nice piece. Someone had credited. I think I got this off Comic Art Fans. They had mentioned Jay Lee in their comment or something. Anyway. Shout out to my man Biggs. Oh, that is cool. That is a nice grifter. Damn, that is badass. Pew, pew, pew. Isn't it nice to have me back? You should have treated me better, right? Now, don't you feel bad? No, I'm just kidding. Panel Age Art. This guy wants to make sure that you know that he owned this, or owned this scan. It's nice. Alright, let's continue, friends. Batwoman, I think this is. I worked on the book. I think it's Batwoman. Batwoman, a woman with bats. What is this? This is a trippy page. I barely remember this from the book, meaning that I don't remember it. Issue 35. I don't know why. This one doesn't ring a bell. It's a weird photo, too, because he shot it at an angle for some reason. And this looks like Dustin, too. Again, he does he has different stroke patterns that he uses, Jay. He almost looks like he's got Elektra's headband on. Ah, this is such a badass page. But this is from Strikefile, or Wildcats Trilogy. I think it's the first page of issue 1, isn't it? Let me see. Does it say? Yeah, 1 and 1. Yeah, I thought so. But this looks a little bit like the first issue of Hell Shock. It was a little bit more like this style. This is cool. Yeah, Jay is a trip, man. It takes a lot of balls to strip down your style. It's funny, I was talking to James Smith about this earlier, not in reference to Jay Lee though, in my own work, because I've been trying to simplify my stuff. It's easier said than done. But Yeah, I mean it's scary when you're known for like one particular thing to all of a sudden decide that you're gonna like try to boil it down to like the bare minimum, because it can be perceived as you're being lazy or whatever. But I think this is so beautiful. There's there can be a turning point for some artists where you start to realize that comics and storytelling, there's different ways to approach it, and ultimately it's you're drawing symbols that represent storytelling things, but what ended up happening is became like illustrations in comics, where it became more literal. But in some ways, a lot of the stuff that I think we're, it's hard to say, but defending simplified art is, there's an immediacy to it, and there's also, I think, an opportunity for the person looking at the art to add more of their own imagination to it. Whereas when you draw something very detailed and very exact, it's a very literal drawing. You appreciate it for the skill involved in the drawing, maybe more than the immersive quality of it. And then also, if you think about it like this, like if you saw a car crash happen in front of you, it's more of an abstract memory. It's like I saw the car and I heard the noise and it skidded on its side, and then it's like almost like 4 beats is how you remember it. But when you have a stop piece of film, it's ready. This looks like Wills. Is this Uncanny X-Men Annual? Wow, this is early, Jay. Man, this is like crazy. I'm not 100% sure who inked this. This is pretty cool. It's weird. It's like Wolf's Portaccio. It's got like a little bit of like Walter Simonson, and it kind of looks like Jay Lee, but then it kind of doesn't. Almost like a little Sienkiewicz too. Wow, this is really weird. Uncanny X-Men Annual, number 16, pages 24 and 25. Really, really nice. Whoever inked it did a great job. It almost looks like Terry Austin or something. Huh. I don't know. Maybe Rubenstein? There you go. Oh, these are cool. I love these. It's funny. Whenever, way back when I would really struggle with art and I was like, didn't know what to do, I'd always come back to these pieces and go, like, look how simple these are. It's like all I drew was the profile of a head and some kind of cape and like flingy hair. It's like, you could do that. Come on. Do it, Rich. Do it. Of course I never did, but yeah, I would use these as inspiration because they look simple, like they look like something that maybe I could do with a split personality. That'd be cool. So dark. Oh man, look at this. That is a good spread. So this is Youngblood Strike File. Man, Jim Lee on Deathblow did a very kinetic, energetic style too. Man, this is great. This is, I think, my favorite page that I've seen. Oh, that looks so Bisley. God, man, that is good. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. This is it. This is it for me. I need to print this out as a poster. It's going to be a poster in my office. Alright, let's continue, friends. You missed me, didn't you? You did. Admit it. Admit it in the comments section. That was the... No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say that was the problem before. My videos generally don't get a lot of comments. That can be problematic on YouTube these days. It's a little disheartening when you go to a channel that does worse content and then you see tons of comments and you go, really? You guys will all comment on this video, but I fucking pour my heart and soul in the Super Fun Sunday and we get like 3 comments. That's how it's gonna be. No, honestly, I've never cared. Truth be told, that is actually the truth. That it doesn't bother me. You do what you got to do. I know people are busy. Maybe you're on your phone listening. You're like, I would comment, Rich. I was on my phone. It's fine. I was joking. But you do notice it as a content creator. This almost reminds me a tiny bit of what was his name? He had a Todd McFarlane style. Oh, what was his name? I can't think of it. He had like kind of a weird style. It was pretty detailed. What was his name? Maybe I'll think of it. It's not that important. I actually went back and looked at his stuff maybe 8 months ago, and it wasn't as good as I remembered it. I didn't think it was good at the time, but I mean, I remembered it, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that will be good. And then I went back and looked at it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's why I never really followed him that closely. Oh, I remember his name, but now I don't want to say it. Don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. All right, there you go. That's cool. Man, those are nice. All right, let's continue, friends. I grabbed a decent stack of art. I remember there's a few issues in Namor. It may even be this one where he maybe overdid it a little bit with the silhouettes. Like, this is fine, but I think that there was one issue that was like almost too many. There was a tipping point for even me where I was like, all right, maybe that's one too many. What's this weird scan? I don't know where I got this. I save shit from all over. That's the thing. But that's how you get a collection like this. It's a commitment to acquisition. It's really interesting. So Jay does this thing with these like little sort of creepy pointy things on him. I've done that since I was 16, so 8 years before I ever saw Jay Lee's art. But I got it kind of from Alien, like Giger and Alien. But I will put like these spine shapes. To me, they're like spine shapes. Well, I'm not gonna bother. I was gonna say I could draw it with the mouse, but they're like that. But I'll even put them on like armor, like on the back of someone, like is like vertebrae, kind of. But yeah, it's funny that he uses them too, because I don't see a lot of comic book artists like throwing those things in. This is cool. This kind of stuff though, like the swirlies, like right here. I don't have a brush. This thing right here. That to me, always reminds me of Chris Bachalo. But Bachalo was definitely influenced by Bill Sienkiewicz too. That for sure. This is nice. It's so dark. This is another one. Oh, this is great. So let's see something here really quick. How many more do we have? Oh, we're almost at the end. All right. Well, that was fun. It was nice seeing everyone virtually. This is the Wildcats trilogy number 3 cover, I think. Yeah, not a great scan. Creature from the Black Lagoon, or Creature. I like how he did the arm. Yeah, hopefully everyone is doing well. I had a lot of notes about me coming back to YouTube, so I hope that this at least was fun. I'm not 100% sure when I'll come back and do another video. I mean, it had been on my mind for a couple of weeks where I was like, just do like a 10-minute video. You cut 10 minutes. Come on, Rich. Don't be that guy. Honestly, I didn't know what to do a video on. I was originally going to do Barry Windsor Smith, to be honest, today. I changed the idea literally at the last second. I mean, I was opening the files, and I was going to open Barry Windsor Smith at Weapon X, and I grabbed this instead. So this wasn't really planned. But anyway, I enjoy seeing Jay Lee's art as much as I like seeing Barry Windsor Smith, so it's all good. But yeah, if you have an artist that you'd like for me to check out, let me know, because I mean it definitely might get the wheels going for me in terms of coming back and doing another video sooner. But if not, my original plan was maybe after Comic-Con, like August or something, to try to get back on YouTube. But again, there's just not enough time in the day. I'm working right now about 60 to 80 hour weeks, and I don't have. I didn't even really have anything to say, to be honest. Like, if I would have been doing videos the last couple of months, I don't even know really what I would say, like, looking at art. Because I wasn't looking at any art. I was just drawing. So, you know. I started studying some stuff just the last 2 weeks. I have an old iPad, and I filled it up with some manga that I wanted to check out. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and some One Piece, and, you know, stuff that just random shit I wanted to check out. It was nothing. I have weird taste in art, so it's like, you know what I mean, I can hop from one thing to the next and it doesn't really faze me. So anyway, but all right. Maybe there was more shit than. Okay, this is the last one. Oh, this is nice. Actually, it was funny, as I remember seeing this the other day, and I was like, oh, his upshot. Because there was a point where he would do a lot of covers, and everybody always had this sort of, like, looking to the sky sort of thing going on with it, which was real cool. I like the hands. They're very suggestive, but very cool. Man, it's great. So, look, you guys have a great day. Hopefully that was a nice, at least, catch-up. You got to hear my voice. I'm not dead. I'm not... I'm actually... I haven't said it online, but I've lost almost 40 pounds. So I'm much thinner than when you last saw me. And I'm taller. No. But anyway, all right, look, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.